Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside and our monthly porch chat. It truly is a porch chat today.
Yeah,
I think this is the first one that Brenda's in it too. So if the alarm goes off for a second, it'll be fine. But yeah, so it is end of May. I know. End of May. June is here.
Yeah, June is quickly approaching. We were, talking to our website team today, and it's like we're quickly rolling up on June.
We are.
So.
And it feels lovely out here today.
It's very nice today. I think it's supposed to be 59 tomorrow morning, so that's probably the last really cool morning. We're in the 50s and it goes into the 60s, and we're going to get warm Thursday and Friday.
Yep.
So the heat is on its way.
The heat is on its way. The heat has been here because, in fact, the gardenias that are right by the back steps here, the diamond spires, they are in full bloom, and it makes me happy.
Yes.
Makes me happy. So we've got a lot of stuff coming up. May has been a humdinger of a month.
May has been a very challenging month, humdinger of a month. Anytime I think that you're in business, you're going to run into challenges and major challenges. It's just those 10 days. There was a 10-day stretch in May that when the flood started and the cleanup and there was just life and 10 days of stuff. It was just unbelievable. Some things that just like you probably hadn't even gone through in my lifetime. It seemed like there for
right, and it does seem like they kind of come in waves sometimes.
Yeah.
So not that we're wishing time away or life away, but we're kind of ready to get out of May.
We're just ready to get out of May. We're ready for just a bit of a breather, a break. I'm ready to just kind of get things in order and try to fine tune things. No major build projects or anything like that.
It's on camera.
Major build projects. I mean, we need some things.
We do.
We've got some repairs that are going to be done at the greenhouses, which we're not doing. We've got some guys coming in to take care of that. I was talking to them today. We got to re-plastic a couple of houses, add some fans. We're going to add a new type of canvas product cover. It's going to be a white blackout on top of the storage greenhouse. You don't even know about that. So I talked to Heath over at Atlas today. So if you're ever looking for some greenhouse stuff, hobby greenhouse, call Heath Spradley.
Or professional.
Yes, or professional. Heath Spradley over at Atlas Greenhouses. He's a great guy to talk with, and he'll take care of you. Yeah,
we've gotten all of our greenhouses from Atlas when we went. And so even if you have an existing structure, like when we went to go visit Laura and Aaron back, oh my gosh, was that 3 years ago now? Mm-hmm. Like they have, of course, they had their greenhouse, and then we used Atlas for their heater and their roll-up sides and all that other stuff.
All the conversion stuff.
All that conversion.
And that's kind of what I'm doing with this one. I'm using, because it's an old, very beginning greenhouse, and it wasn't an Atlas house, and we've kind of converted it with some different things. This is our storage facility right now that's connected to the annex, and it's worked out great. That's what we're going to use it for.
It's a bit of a Frankenstein house.
Yeah, so we're going to black it out, white top. It's got a one fabric with a blackout and a white on top to reflect the light off the top. And then we'll probably had some fans or something in there just to kind of move the air around. But that's in the works. And we're not going to build a new production house this year. We're going to try to fine tune some things to kind of help that out. But just May has been crazy. Getting through the flow, we've got a couple questions on that. And then we've got some, if you're not registered on the website for emails, you're going to want to do that. Jenny is going to announce some things coming up, and some shorts on YouTube and Instagram stories, but also the emails will simultaneously go out. We have some essentials that are very important for you as a gardener to have right now, because we're going into that season of the care of the plant.
Right, and so if you because you kind of have to keep in mind is that like the online store and the garden center are really essentially two different businesses, because sometimes our local people get confused and they're like, oh, you're having a sale on shrubs, it's buy 3 get 1 free, and we're like, well, no, that was online. And vice versa. So just whenever, if you're signed up for those emails, whether you're local or whether you're, across the country, it doesn't matter, because we have local people who were signed up and local people who still order things. But we do offer a lot of different kinds of specials online that are specifically for online only, just like we offer specials at the garden center that are garden center only.
Right. And this is coming up for online. There's several of them getting ready to
a lot of fun different specials coming up that I think you'll be interested in. And so the best way to know about that and to get a jump start on it is because typically we don't, like when the sale's running or the special's running, we don't talk about it because these videos kind of last forever on YouTube. And so it could get very confusing for people that are watching it past that date. But emails are the best way to do that. And so you can sign up for emails on that. Yep. And so switch of events today is one, we have Brenna here with us, but typically I am the one
She's typically in charge of the questions, and
so I happily relinquished that. I was getting supper ready, so supper is cooking for us.
I picked out a few questions for you,
but I have no idea. We have our little afternoon mocktails here, and so we're enjoying this gardenia filled afternoon on the back porch. I mean, you can't get more southern than that.
So yeah, we're going to start off with 2 questions right away that have to do with the storm. Now this storm, just to put reference or context to everyone, this is a front that came through North Carolina and many other states and on its way here. As soon as it came into our county, it flexed out, bowed out, and we knew we were going to get a massive wind front. But along with that, because we had gotten hit up with the blasted tornado warning, because they said there was one headed to us. So the tornadoes missed us, but there were 2 of them in our county.
We were right between the 2.
Yeah, so we got a lot of wind, and we had an area where the trees went away. Tornadoes here have a hard time getting down and running like they do in the Midwest.
Praise the Lord.
Or in Georgia, and I was talking to Heath today at Atlas about that. He says they get on the ground and go. There is flat. So we're in the hole. We're kind of protected from that. But it's interesting because as we slope up right where the chicken coop is, there was tree damage in multiple directions. So we had some sort of twist in wind in that area. So it threw down 5 inches of rain in 30 minutes. So there's really no, help with that.
Right, and 3 days before we had gotten 7 inches of rain.
Yes.
So the ground was very saturated.
Yeah, the dirty gardener.
Is that you?
Yeah, I don't think so. The dirty gardener has a really cool emoji, like a little purple flower. It looks real cute, so I don't know, Anyway, the dirt he or she says, Jenny and Jerry, is there any way to put in an additional dry rock ditch with large culverts to redirect the bulk of the overflow? Whatever the solution, I hope it's achievable and no other reason than peace of mind. Anyway. I have a new phone too.
You do have a new phone.
It reacts, really crazy. So anyway, I hope it's achievable for no other reason than peace of mind, so you never have to worry about this again.
That'd be great.
It would be great, but I don't care. We could have put in this massive, or had 2 culverts there. There still would. It may not have been as bad, but it was so much water.
It was. It was just massive amounts of water, and honestly, we got very little footage of when it was at its worst.
Yeah, you didn't see
because
that.
We were too busy trying to save stuff that the last thing that I cared about was trying to take footage of it, and so it was just massive amounts of water, and it truly was a flash flood. The rain had stopped. It was not raining. Everything was fine, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't.
Yeah. Same question, same type of question in the same video that went out. You know, the devastation to restoration video. Patricia. Oh God.
You say Patricia.
Patricia Tanner. I like the name. You give us all hope in being able to traverse tragedy. This is a blueprint in how it's done. Does it hurt? Yes. Can you come through the other side? Yes. Even though she answered those questions, I thought it was a great question or a great comment.
Yeah.
And it's encouraging, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate people that give us encouraging comments like that to our YouTube channel. So
Is that what she said?
yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing that got me, and a lot of y'all picked up on that, is that, you know, initially when that's happening to you, you're like, oh my gosh, like you're heartbroken because what you've spent 18 years building, you literally see washing away before your very eyes.
And you don't know at the time how bad it's really going to get.
Right.
Like, we're sitting there watching something we've never seen before. We've seen the water there.
Yeah.
It just comes up, hangs out, goes away.
Goes away.
But we've never seen the first ever 3-gallon shrub pop up and start floating away, much less 40% of the entire shrub lot just gone. There is no saving it. There is no restoration. There is no shrubs are tough and they can do all this. They are gone.
They're not here. They're not on the property.
The water was like a rapid. I mean, it was like
white water. Oh.
White water. That's right. It was brown. Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, but then it very quickly turned from, okay, because the water started to go down, and you're like, okay, we at least the bleeding had stopped there.
Right.
You know, the hemorrhaging had stopped, and so we were like, okay, we still didn't quite know the full extent. But then it quickly turned into, you know, because I posted that on Instagram and Facebook, and then we come home and, you know, you're exhausted, you're starving, and, you know, and all the things. And I'm sitting there at, you know, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, and these comments are coming in, and people are like, we'll be there, you know, or I can't be there, and I'll pray, and ugh.
So yeah, that's interesting. Going back to positive comments and folks that take the time to give you positive comments. Unfortunately, we live in the world where folks either don't understand, or they're just mean, you know, or, you know, for whatever reason they just give weird comments. You know, whoever this is, TD8866. Do you have flood insurance for your business and home, since it's on a creek? The home is not in a floodplain, by the way. When people are volunteering to help you, you should at least provide lunch and something to drink. Also, you should have given them any damaged plants instead of telling them they can shop for them.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure where you're collecting your information, TD8866, but that is absolutely false. And
in fact, we had massive amounts, and I told every single person that was there, take the plants. So I haven't seen these comments. So you're about to get Mama Jenny up on a soapbox here. Those sweet folks.
It's hilarious though. How
like what in the world? Who said that I told them they could shop? Where did you get that information? Like, that is so ridiculously, I have never seen that comment. It's a good thing I didn't see that comment.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
But no. So these sweet people, I'm hearing it today. So these sweet people came from all over and all different kinds of walks of life. Corporate America, who, you know, a homeschooling mama and her sweet kids came, all sorts of people, neighbors that also had damage, and he was like, no, I just had to be here for you, that come and help. And we were so grateful for those people. And by lunchtime, we were done. It was done. And I literally told those people, there's this huge section of plants. Help yourself. So I don't know where you think that we told them they could shop. That is absolutely false. Flat out. False.
Yeah.
So that was like one, literally though, that comment, and I think I saw 2 others out of literally probably 6 6,000 comments. 3 out of 6,000 that were negative or derogatory or condescending or whatever word you want to use. Every single other comment was nothing but encouraging and helpful and loving.
Yep.
So
it was, and you know, I bring it up for the simple fact of, like, I don't think that people really realize in business, even when you're treating the way you treat your businesses when you have an issue, you know, or how you treat the people that are there, that you know, we're just people too, you know, and you can say that you can just ignore it and move on, or don't read the comments or whatever, but
I dare say you've never been in social media.
Yeah, these things are just, you know, uncalled for, and it's just, you know, it's
false. It's a lie. I don't know where they're getting their information. That is absolutely a lie.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
be nice. You know, my mama, and I know this is not a Southern thing. This is a mama thing. Worldwide. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. You don't. You know, you actually don't have to make a negative comment. It really is physically possible.
And it's more than likely it could be a troll, but the only thing I was like kind of confused me about it was, you know, they're kind of curious about the insurance, which is really none of your business, but it's just like, you know, it was kind of curious in a way. And
well, then they ask concern.
Yes.
And then they slam you.
Use the word should.
Falsehood.
At least provide lunch. So you did use those words, and it is false. So we don't have to tell you what we did, but we took care of our volunteers. So on another video, we've switched gears out of the flood. You're doing a video, I think, up at the chicken coop, and we get this all the time. How do you keep the deer out?
Oh, yeah.
We have folks that hunt. And when it's deer season, there are people here that hunt the deer. Mm-hmm. We are not encroached or being encroached. Yes, by massive development yet. Okay, so there's plenty of deer food, you might per se, their natural food that they prefer to have over than a hosta. Believe it or not, they don't want the hosta. They want their food. Mm-hmm. Their food has been taken up by the neighborhoods. So when you have neighborhoods after neighborhoods after neighborhoods taking the land where they were accustomed to their food, then you have a deer issue eating your hosta.
Well, and there's no predators.
No predators.
So then you have no predators or natural or hunters, and then the population just explodes. And we don't have them as bad now, but we did have coyotes.
Yeah.
Like we would have coyotes back here. So
this was Christine Schumer that asked this question. And I mean, it is a common question because it is a common problem.
It's a massive problem.
And where, you know, Proven Winners is going to bat, or Spring Meadow and Color Choice Shrubs, and trying to highlight more shrubbery and more plants that are deer resistant that you can put in your garden to be more successful. We've got some videos coming up soon about that. So I don't know the timing of this video when it will go out compared to the others. It could come before.
Right.
So,
but I would say that was probably, if I had to say what's the number one
in that
issue,
video they asked it a bunch.
I know, but I'm saying in general, the question that the number one problem that our gardeners have online and here at the garden center is deer.
Yeah.
Without hands down.
Deer is not a pet. I mean, it's not to be kept.
Don't feed them.
It needs to be kept under control, and it's just the way it is.
Yep.
So it's just a fact, and so we're here, and we've been given those abilities to take care of those situations. So, I mean, we don't have to do anything here because it's just a natural process. There are predators, there are the hunting seasons, so they're allowed to still hunt out here, and it has kept the population under check.
Do you know that even in, I can't remember if it's in Mecklenburg County or if it's, because we're very close to the South Carolina line, if it's in South Carolina, there's a city, because they have such horrible deer pressure, that the city, the town, had started an initiative at night for bow hunting.
Yeah.
To cull the herd.
It's legal to do it. It's legal to do it in our county and the city. So, you know, you have to just go through that process and they get it taken care of. Lots of times your HOA has some rules in there which you need to go talk to your HOA. So anyway, All right, so Judy and Anderson, yes, says, Jenny, how long is your list? I have 17 projects on my to-do list now, but the weather is not cooperating.
Amen,
I need
Judy.
to use the electric hedge trimmers, but it's wet in the morning and rainy in the afternoon. And what's a gardener going to do? You know?
Well, you do what you can, Judy. The list is long, and Jerry can tell you this, that I am a list person and a kind of task oriented, and I have a hard time sometimes just enjoying the space because I'm constantly looking to see, oh, that really needs to be done, or gosh, that needs some water, or gosh, that I'm supposed to plant that, or I was supposed to trim this, or that needs to be deadheaded. And so that's my struggle, is that I see things that need to be done.
Well, it was just like what I did this week. We have been jamming. You know, it's April, we're selling. We're planting. We're shipping. We're just so wrapped up in our business, you know, and we're trying to do everything here. And I brought Mary Claire down to the garden. Mm-hmm. I had an elementary school principal every single day at the end of the announcements when he went on the intercom to tell everybody bye from school. He told us to take time to smell the roses.
Yep.
And if you look at your list all the time, maybe it's just meant that if you're not, you just need to go out there and take time to smell the roses. Take time to notice your hydrangea. Take time to notice the beauty in your garden. You know, take time to notice your family, you know, your husband, your wife, your kids, you know, whatever it may be. But I took Mary Claire down to the signature garden because it was glowing, you know, and the grass was beautiful. All the plants that Jenny has planted in those areas of the annuals and stuff are just in full. I mean, we put in some really leggy Supervena
oh, the pink
cashmere.
Oh my gosh, they were
That
awful.
stuff is so full right now. So everything we do tell you is just plant it, fertilize it,
and water.
And we didn't even get to trim these. They leafed out and did just fine. You know, so we have the pictures, we have all the video to prove that it works.
Well, that's like so we're sitting on the back porch, and right here is the deck boxes. And when I put that pink cashmere in, because I had trimmed, I forget what I had trimmed, maybe something, and they were like, well, why didn't you trim the verbena? And I was like, y'all,
it's fine.
That stuff is thick and gorgeous.
Yeah, it's fine. It's in a grande pot, or a little small pot. It can only do so much in there. I can only do so much with it, you know, without using massive amount of chemicals, which then can deter it from recovering.
Right. We don't want to use
So if I use a ton of growth regulator, it may never even go to its full potential in your garden. Mm-hmm. You know, it may not leaf out the way it needs to leaf out. So these go straight into, like we said, we have told many people, just take it, put it in the ground, it will be fine. Prime example, take time to smell the roses and we can see that positive thing that happens with that plant. You know, and Mary Claire was just going out, oh, I planted that, and there's this, and Newly in the War, and she was just going through them and just enjoying them and having a great time. And that was why I did it, because she's so wrapped up in everything else, and customer service and shipping, and she just needs to come out and take time to see the plants.
Yeah.
So, but the list is long, Judy, but the list never ends. So we've always said, you know, it's just things just get moved around on the list.
It's like the game where they shuffle things around and you try to figure out where the prize is. That's kind of like our list.
Yeah.
Things that, like, you know, with the flood, we never thought, oh, we're going to have a flood. Well, all of a sudden that happens and that gets moved to the very top of the list. Yeah. Everything else comes down. So, yeah, good times.
Yeah, so Byers Mac 5212. A couple days ago, I guess you were talking about some hydrangeas and stuff. I'm not really sure where this was, but I have Let's Dance Blue Jangles. It was blue when I bought it. I put it in a pot, and it's never been in the ground. And it blooms pink. Now I knew it had to add amendments. So she's saying I had to have add amendments to keep it blue. So why did it turn pink in a pot? Well, that's because It's because the soil that you use has already been prepped for a higher pH, which then turns it pink. Like, so a lot of times here, there'll be pink.
Right.
Because we put ours in the ground, we have acidic soil, a little bit lower pH, and they turn blue eventually.
Right. But we have some pH dependent hydrangeas that are in pots. I think it was Tough Stuff or something, and it was pink.
Yeah.
But because somebody was like, "Oh, it's pink," and I was like, "Yes,"
Yeah.
but once you put it in the ground, and by like next year, it'll be blue. So that's the difference between your color specific and your pH dependent. So if you want it to be blue, then you'll need to add that soil acidifier to it to make sure that it is blue.
Yep.
Because as Jerry has said a million times, growing in a pot and or greenhouse,
Two different things.
growing in the landscape, completely different.
Completely different. Yeah, this is on the garden tour of a mature shade garden.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So, Alvarez, Alvarez, 8707. Yep. This is like a dream garden. How does your mom keep weeds away? I get weeds even in the deep shade, which is really odd, but
No, it's not.
It does keep the pressure down though, compared to an open field.
Well, yes, but let me tell you, if we had Mimi sitting right here, she would say, "Oh, I have plenty of weeds." So this is what she does right here.
Yep.
This is how she controls all of her weeds in her gardens, her two hands. And her garden is not weed free, and she will tell you that it's not weed free. But my mom is a retired school teacher. She retired, maybe 15 years ago or so, and my parents do not stay inside. The only time that they're inside is if it's like pouring cats and dogs, or like not even when it's cold. They're outside all the time. Mama, it's so funny because she'll be like, "Oh, it's raining. That means I have to vacuum. I can't be outside." And so they literally live outside all the time. Whether it's the heat of the summer, or if it's the cold of the winter. Like I said, the only time that they're really not outside is in the pouring down rain. But that's what she loves to do. I mean, that brings her great joy, is to develop these gardens. And as you know, she comes and helps me. And it's just that that's what she loves to do. They don't know how to sit still. They do know how to sit still and relax, but not for like days at a time.
It's also an important thing on a different totally subject. You look at them at their age that they are, and they're able to continue to do.
Oh yeah.
It's because they've done that all their life. They've just kept moving. Get outside.
Her little thing is, because when she'll come down to the nursery and employees or whatever, like, "Mimi, can I drive you back up?" And she'll go, "Nope. You stop moving and you start dying." And so that's her little thing.
So she goes out and she picks the weeds and keeps them out of that shade garden.
Yep.
But there are fewer.
There are fewer, but she still has them.
We don't have as many weeds in the pines as we would in the open area where the sun perennials would be, even in the pots.
Right.
We don't get it as bad. So it does keep the pressure down. So anyway, that's where we are. So Linda Body 1. It's always a blessing to watch your channel. Thank you. It says, "I pray that you and your family are blessed too." There's a love heart. It says, "I'm learning a lot about gardening from watching your videos. I like your tool belt. Where can I purchase one?"
Was Linda?
Yes.
Well, Linda, thank you, first of all, for those sweet comments. And we are blessed by y'all. I mean, the last 10 days, reading y'all's comments was just, was wonderful. And then when y'all come to the nursery, to get to meet y'all and talk with you and hug your neck and everything is great. So the tool belt, Jerry actually got me that tool belt. He found it, I don't know, a couple years ago. A husband-wife team up in the mountains of North Carolina. They make them, so they're handmade. We actually have them online available. And so we have a Creekside.
GardeningWithCreekside.com.
Yeah, GardeningWithCreekside.com. And so it is, That belt that we sell is exactly like mine with 2 exceptions. One, yours is better than the one that you get. It's going to be better than mine because it has our logo stamped on it, like it's imprinted in the leather. So mine doesn't have that. And then 2, because we sell these to the public, yours is, your loop on your belt is a little different. That way it's completely adjustable. The belt on mine is like a belt buckle. So when you order it directly from them, you have to give them your waist measurements, and so that they know how big to make your belt. So the one that we sell, obviously, since we're not the manufacturer, the maker, artist of these, then it's like a one-size-fits-all type thing. So that's the only difference.
I kind of like the idea of that, because there's lots of times, you know, I was working, and I use mine a lot.
It's not for gardening.
Not for gardening. It has like all my pliers in it, and it has the Felco 2 in it, because I also use the Felco 2 to cut wires sometimes, or cut things. I know it's going to kill everybody, but I'm sorry, you can resharpen it. You can buy your
buy a new blade.
You can buy a new blade. It works out great. That thing is just great. But I use it like I was doing like a lot of wiring. I use it as a tool belt, as an electrical belt, or a tool belt, or, you know, I don't normally have it on that way when I'm in the garden.
Well, and it is as a simple, maybe it's different as a female, but because we garden year round, different times of the year I'm wearing different amounts of clothes. That's what I was trying to get to. Or perhaps Jenny's a little fluffier certain times of the year than others, and so it's nice that that it can expand or
because I was actually during that time I was wearing 2 different belts. And I had 2 different, belts on, including the tool belt, Jenny's tool belt, and then the regular belt. So it would have been nice for it had to been a little more adjustable. I was using like the last,
notch. Yeah.
Yeah, it made this real good. But anyway, it's a great belt. It'll last forever. So check that out. Okay, so Lynn 7613 says, just beautiful. I was wondering what bulk fertilizer you were using in the berm. We have a wedding venue with almost 2 acres of beds, and bulk slow release would sure be a lifesaver.
Yes.
So we were using the fertilizer that we use to fertilize like all our production shrubs, perennials, and sometimes annuals. It's from Harold's. They have lots of different formulas. You could also
Osmocote would be
Osmocote. Depending on your distributor, if you got a distributor close by, if you have a wedding venue
with 2 acres of gardens, you
could probably easily get hooked up with a distributor that's nearby. Somebody like BFG or Wyatt Corals, or just depending on where you are in the country. I know BFG does lots of different areas. BFG, lots of different areas in the country. Where Wyatt Corals is close to us. They come here every Monday.
We're quite friendly with them.
Yes. So they can get to us pretty quick. They have a truck on the route, and we can get what we need. So that would be a place to start. So Osmocote would be another one if they didn't have Harold's that I would recommend.
Yeah, highly. We actually were visiting a really nice display garden at a nursery, and I asked them, I said, hey, how do you fertilize? And it was Osmocote. And so this is a very high-end, I don't want to give away their trade secrets as far as like what nursery it was, but it was a very high-end display garden, and Osmocote.
Osmocote, the Harold's is great. Because
when you're doing 2 acres,
yeah, you've got to go with something like that. And a lot of these technologies in that slow release fertilizer, you can look them up. They will give more of a quick release, which you need for the annuals lots of times, but then continue feeding. Or then some will, not do that portion of it, but it's just a more slow release for over a longer period of time. We just have found that the Harold's works really well with our shrub production.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah.
And so much in that we were like, well, heck, we're going to use it on, sometimes on in that kind of case right there.
Yeah, and you'll see me in that video. I'm just like, whoo, I just kind of had a good idea about it. And you're not going to burn anything, and you don't want all those little,
green pellets.
You know, on top of your flowers and things. You know, you're trying to go right to the base.
But yeah, we didn't. This did not make the cut. But someone who shall remain nameless may or may not have backed over that bag when the work truck was being put away.
So then we got the fertilizer.
And busted the bag, and there was these green pellets all over the driveway. And I'm literally like scooping them up and just chunking them, like, you know, in the flower beds and just like slinging them. So that part of the berm ought to be primo in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so that's all the questions for this round. I kind of quit looking for questions.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So yeah, so as we go into summer, you know, we'll keep you updated, of course, on all the fun happening things, but we just can't express our gratitude and thankfulness and how blessed we are to have this community of gardeners. It's just been absolutely amazing.
Guys, I mean, we have 3 tickets left to the signature event. This is your last chance. You got 3 left. You're gonna meet some people from two couples from Canada, several from California, Texas, Illinois, North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee. You know, they're coming from all over. It's gonna be a cool time to hang out with different gardeners. That's the key thing, is getting everybody together, having a good fun time. You don't want to miss out on that. It's just kind of weird how it got stuck with 3, you know. But anyway, there's 3 more left, you know.
Yeah, we're doing
love to see you.
We're doing all the fine details right now, and that's a lot of fun. We were texting with Mary Claire.
Badges and everything.
Don't give it away.
Oh,
that's
high end.
Don't give it away. No. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and yeah, sitting here looking at, like right now, because it's, I don't know, what time is it? My watch is not working correctly. But just like being out here in the garden.
6:30 or so.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means, the the cocktail hour and the self-guided tour will be happening starting about this time, and it is like perfect. There's enough shade, enough sun, so it is going to be a lot of fun that we're super excited about. Somewhere around that 4-week mark, so June the 21st. That's a Friday, and we can't wait.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So we'd love to have 3 more of you sweet people join us. It'll be fun, and this will be.
Are you glad to see you at the nursery?
Yeah, and this will be an annual event. So because people were saying that they would love to come, but either like the time allotment didn't work for them, or they want to have
it was first time.
Save up and do it next year or whatever, or bring girlfriends and come together as a group. So this will be an annual event, roughly around that same time. Obviously the date will change, but roughly in that same time period, getting towards the end of June.
This time of year would be kind of cool though.
I think we might want to keep it at the end of June, just because we're coming out of spring. We don't need to be coming out of spring and planning the final details of the signature experience.
The good thing about June is that hopefully hydrangeas and things.
Oh, the hydrangeas will be, yes. Yeah. They will be.
We're looking at Incredible right now, and it has
the big buds, but not showing color.
There are a few white ones. I see a white one right here.
Okay, I can't see that.
Yep.
So yeah, the hydrangeas will be popping more in June. Yep. We're not doing it in May.
Okay.
All right, my friends, as always, y'all have an amazing day. Thank you for all your love and support, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.